Hey, everybody. Hey, Samantha, baby. Hi, Anne. That's me pounding my head on the desk, in case you couldn't tell. You might see it better from this view. Ready? There. Oh, dear. Full moon's a coming. Mercury is a slowing down. I have had it with the shenanigans today. I seriously have. Um, watching me slam my head on the desk. First of all, sound check. 1 2 3. 1 2 3. Are we there? I keep thinking I have forgotten my microphone because I positioned it up here rather than to the side. So we'll see. Holy shit! All right. So just now, um, what I decided to do. Wait a minute. I got to dismount my iPod here. Um, what I decided to do today. Uh, because last week anxiety was so high and my brain was just not functioning very well. Good, thank you, Anne. Um, I've been talking to my son and his partner about the frequency recordings. Brain frequency recordings. I'm going to take my socks off right now because I can already tell I'm going to get too hot. There's one. Hi, Deborah. Hey, it's awesome to see you, my love. Okay, 1 2 socks gone. Now I will pick the lint off my desk. So, I did a little bit of research, and I wasn't sure of what gamma frequency was about. I knew that beta is, conscious, high focus, and alpha is alert relaxation. Theta is deep relaxation. Delta is deep sleep. But I wasn't sure what gamma was, so we watched a couple videos and found out that gamma is the frequency of in the zone, when all of your brain is like highly focused on one thing and you're just in the zone. So I thought, hi Amy. I thought tea and ginger snaps. Oh hell yes! All I've got is water tonight. Um, so I thought, well, I'm going to get a recording of Gamma tonight, and I have one Kelly Howell CD that has Gamma, but it's Theta and Gamma, and I don't necessarily want to be falling asleep while I'm doing these. I'd like to be alert. So I went to iTunes to purchase the recording that has only Gamma frequencies in it. And I went to the store, looked it up, hit purchase. I have to put in my password. It told me my account was locked. And I'm like, oh shit. And there was not a link, but a URL to go and unlock it. So I went, signed in, went back, logged back in, did the purchase thing, put in my password again, and it told me log into PayPal to verify your account. I'm like, oh, fuck So I went into PayPal, couldn't figure out what to do where, hadn't up or downloaded my thing, all this shit. Finally went and followed the links again, and I had to log into PayPal through the iTunes account to verify. Did that. Finally got it downloaded. And then I'm trying to get it on my iPod, and I was having shenanigans there. So, yeah. Thank you, Amy. Thank you, my darling cheerleader. Yes, hit that like button if you have it. And Sherry, thank you, my love, for your donation. Thank you so much. You guys have no idea how much I appreciate it when you show your support in that way. So what I'm doing tonight is I'm going to have my earbuds in. I don't think it matters which one's right and which one's left, and this is not going to tell me anyway. So I'm going to pop these in, and I am going to have Gamma going in my ears whilst I am doing readings. And see, let's just see how it goes. I was sad because I thought I wasn't going to get just the Gamma recording, and I thought, well, if I do Gamma and Theta, I'll have to have you guys on the alert to tell me, if I start yawning, time to take the earbuds out. But okay, now I need to find the recording and start it. Crying out loud. Kelly Howell. Oh, please, oh, please. Pure focus, gamma waves. Yeah, baby. So this afternoon, I did the Gamma and Theta recording. And as my experience usually is with Kelly Howe, particularly, with Theta, I was like, passed out. But I also did some studying while I was, I put them on, and I thought I don't really want to flake out. I want to stay high focus. So I did a little bit of studying with it. Seemed easy, and then I started getting very drowsy. But see, that's the Theta. And the thing I don't understand is when her recordings say Theta and Gamma or Theta and Delta, I don't know. She can't do both of those at the same time because it takes two separate frequencies to make one of them happen. So I'm assuming she goes from one to the other. So I don't know. But I've got full-on Gamma in my ears now, and I'm very excited about that. So tonight, I didn't even show you here. There we go. And I also figured out somehow my face cam keeps getting zoomed in. Because, when when I'm doing my unboxings and you see this much of me, and I'm like, what the hell? Somehow my face cam kept getting zoomed in without me doing that. So I'm zoomed back out. And that makes me a little bit happier. Hopefully it makes you happier too. So what I'm using tonight, two newish decks, Heaven and Earth Tarot. I really do love this deck. It is extremely chatty. It was a gift deck from Annette, which I see she's posting videos, but I haven't seen her here in a while. Let's take a moment to just send out some good de-stressing energy to Annette. She's in California. She's a healthcare worker. Things are bad. Things are very, very bad, and I haven't seen her on my lives in a while, and I think she's probably just worn out. So, Annette Klein, darling, if you're watching this, she is Sun to Shine Astrology on YouTube. We're sending you our best, sweetheart. All right. There we go. Got to get those out. And I have to reshuffle my court cards in. I've been looking at the court cards in this deck just to learn them. And I got to the place where she's correlating them with signs, and the elements she's correlating them together, they don't make any sense to me. So I'm going to go as deep as that, learning this deck, and then back off and just, look at the meanings. But the writing... one of the things that makes it sort of tough, I'm shuffling these in my lap so I don't have my shoulders up. When you get, I think the waves are getting a little too loud, right? Or maybe that's just the gamma I'm hearing in my ears, and I think it's the waves I'm seeing. Just let me know if the waves get too loud, okay? Okay, so when you're a collector like me, and you're also a reader, also like me, um, it can be, it can be difficult because I already have my own understanding when I read with my Hanson Roberts decks, and certain cards just definitely mean certain things. Then when I get to a new deck, I don't want to just transfer my understanding of the Hanson Roberts to the new deck. I feel a disconnect when that happens. So I'm really working to take the time to learn some of the decks that have come in that I've been really, really enchanted with. Oops. And this one I'm reminded that while I love the deck, it sucks to shuffle. And the weird part is it's very bendy. The cards themselves are very flexible. How they can be flexible and thick at the same time and hard to shuffle, I don't understand. And they seem to get little nicks and things in the edges quite easily, but then they're stiff to shuffle. So anyway, I am working to really integrate and learn this particular deck because boy, oh boy, when I pick it up and things start flying out, it is chatty. It nails things for me. So tonight we're going to do one card from this deck. And here come the court cards flying out. All right, I'm going to just put you back in. Well, let's see what we have here. Knight of Cups. That is the card of the lover. And then we have Ace of Cups upside down. Okay. So we're dealing with some emotional clogs here. That the knights to me can be the fire element because they're on horseback. They're go go go. Picking up the cards as they fly out. Because the other thing with this deck is it's very slippery. Stiff and slippery. Weird combo. And look how thick. Anyway, I love the deck. So, must be bitch night tonight. So, Knight of Cups talks about really emotion, those energies in motion of being able to express your feelings. And then we've got the Ace of Cups inverted. And to me, that can talk about a drain, an emotional drain. You see the water pouring out here of like being unable to start things because emotionally we're just kind of stuck or stalled. So, I mean, those two flying out, yes, I am feeling that with this full moon coming up. And the moon and sun involved in a fixed T-square. And if you haven't watched my video on that, I just put it up, I think it was yesterday. I made it live. So, and my patrons get that a week early, just so you know. But this fixed T-square really makes emotional energy that doesn't move. It just concentrates. So that Leo moon, we're in a Cancer moon right now. I believe it shifts sometime in the middle of the night. Let's find out. Oh, okay. So at 10 o'clock tonight is when the moon goes into Leo. So we might feel that shift from, moodiness and emotions kind of free-flowing into things sort of, locking down a little bit. And then we had Mars at the apex of that T-square. So a lot of not moving emotional energy that is activated by Mars, it's going to be a rough one. All right, let's see. Heindel deck. Yeah, I have the Heindel. Make your brain wrinkle. Yep, I'm getting extra folds. Dumping the old contents out to get ready for the new to flow in. That's perfect. That's perfect. But I'm looking at him on the horse, and the horse has one foot up, but the horse really isn't moving. So, we need to get those emotions flowing and get it pouring out. So anyway, we're going to do one from this deck, and we're going to do one from this deck. I just put up this unboxing. And if you go to the unboxing for this deck, this I thought was like a brand new release, but it's not. It's a re-release from a different publisher. The original release was called Art Through the Eyes of the Soul, and this is just called Through the Eyes of the Soul. But it's the exact same deck. On this video, there's a link below it for Magic Planet, which is where I bought this deck from. Magic Planet is still running their holiday sale, 15% off everything on the site. So go to the site. You might have to sign up for their email thing in order to get that discount. But I think it's just right up front on the site. It's just the word holiday gets you the 15% discount. So I got this deck at a 15% discount, and with shipping it was only a little over 25 bucks. If you look at it on Amazon, where it is not yet available, it's 25 bucks just for the deck. So and Magic Planet has a lot of really cool stuff. My big silver pentagram that's on my altar came from Magic Planet, and I'm not sure. No, 13 Moons is where I got my big sickle knife. But anyway, if you go to the bottom of the description of this unboxing and see that Magic Planet link, and you go use that link to go to Magic Planet and buy something, I get points. Not sure what those points exactly do. I'm sure once I rack them up, they give me discounts. But there was something, they said something about commission, so I'm not sure. So buy shit. Buy shit. It will make me happy. Okay. So we may be going to the books with these. We may not. We shall see. Let's start. Oh, dear. I will tell you, too, I went to the doctor on Monday because my shoulders were boulders, as they have been my entire life. And there was just no loosening them. And I was just in so much pain. And I can't do physical therapy right now because, COVID. So I went to get trigger point injections, which are miraculous. He just finds the huge knots in my muscles, gives me little tiny injections, and they go, ugh. So my shoulders are nice and loose. I slept my ass off last night. I had a dream that I went to visit John and Yoko, and they weren't in the Dakota. They were in this squalid little apartment building. And but I kind of barged in and apologized and effused all over them, and then we hung out for a while, and then I woke up and my husband got up. I woke up when the cats came to wake him up, and they went, and then I went back to sleep, and I was in the dream again. And the only time that's ever happened to me is when I purposely did it, when I would wake up and go, oh, I don't want to leave that dream, and then I just hold the dream and go back to sleep. I wasn't holding the dream this time. I just went back to sleep, back into the dream, and was telling Yoko just how much I respect her fearlessness, and I always have. And when I said goodbye to John, and Yoko, one time I thanked her for letting me barge in, and I thanked her for her hospitality, and she said, "Don't forget about that part." And it's like, I didn't, honey. I thanked you. But John, when I said goodbye to him, we were having a laugh. I was talking about seeing him on Ed Sullivan when I was 5 and feeling that vibe of ecstasy that came off of them. So I said goodbye to him. He kissed me on the cheek, and then he kissed me on my knees. And this was a dream, by the way. It wasn't a vision. I have had vision visits with John Lennon, too. I have had soul visits with him. But this was an actual dream. And I said, oh, I'll never wash that spot, ha, ha, ha. And I said, can you imagine what it would be like if all the people that you ever touched never washed that spot again? We'd have people with big lumps of dirt sticking out all over him. And that made him laugh. So, anyway. All righty. Uncorking the fresh water. And we ask our allies and ancestors, guides and guardians to come be present for us tonight. I invite the element of air to keep my mind clear and give me easy words to say and facility. Make my tongue agile to speak those words. And that our communication be strong and practical. And I ask the element of fire to be here to ignite our passion and to light our path and give us vision. And I invite the element of water to be here to connect us as humans in compassion and in love and in healing. And the element of earth I invite in to keep us grounded and keep our readings practical and applicable, understandable, and insightful. And then finally I ask Grandmother Moon to come in. Shine down on us your intensity we're feeling already, and we're grateful for it. All of us workers of magic. So we feel the moonlight shining down, because here in Northeast Ohio we can't see the moonlight ever, it seems. I've only seen like one full moon so far since the leaves came down. So we thank you, we invite you here, and we welcome you. So mote it be. And let's offer, that's the fresh water and the air and the fire. I offer the fire of Azrael to these wonderful divination tools. Yeah, like my tongue isn't working already, you guys. Fire of Azrael, bring the power of divination forth, please and thank you. And then we offer the water and the earth, the ocean water, so that things be purified and charged, blessed and made whole. So mote it be. Wait. Yesterday I had crazy things too. I was trying to sew something very simple, and Pyewacket decided that the sewing table was his playground, and he fucked around and knocked a hot iron over on my hand. And oh, well, say hello to her for me, Anne, because we can't see. We've got gray, Ohio gray, gray and gray and gray. All right, so we start off with our Aquarians tonight. I'm going to do a cut shuffle with this deck. I'm going to do a spread and pick with this one. So let's get this one spread out. So we've got one deck that's really chunky and slippery, and we've got another deck that's chunky and matte. They're telling me cut. All right. So we have unstable effort for you first, Aquarius. And then let's take one of these. All right, they're pulling me right here. We have unstable effort and sacred journey pilgrimage. So unstable effort is the Seven of Swords. Talks about getting away with something, but going with the keywords on this, just saying that it's time, Aquarius, to stabilize your efforts. That means get a structure and a plan around them. When the moon shifts into Leo, I mean, the sun is in Aquarius right now, but when the moon shifts into Leo and the full moon happens, it's opposing that Aquarius sun. And that can be a trigger and an activator and a call to change something. The moon represents change. So look at where your efforts require some structure and some grounding. Grounding in reality, grounding in actual possibility. So look at what you're aiming for and ask. This is kind of a balance question. Ask how possible that is. Now, of course, we want to keep our mindset in the place of anything's possible, right? But we also want to look at what we want to manifest, how quickly we want to manifest it, and how realistic that is in the context of where we are right now. So it's kind of like keep your expectations grounded in reality, and then open your hope and optimism up to all possibilities. All right? Rather than just letting it blow in the wind. And this says sacred journey pilgrimage. So I'm thinking, Aquarius, it's time to really bring spirit into these efforts and make sure that your physical earthly efforts are aligned with spirit. All right? That you are keeping that ear open to intuition and letting Spirit talk to you and guide you with the way that you need to go and the way that you need to stabilize things. Sometimes Aquarius can get just very carried away in their unbelievable, futuristic, utopian, wonderful ideas. And, I am, for one, really wish we could make Aquarian dreams a reality right off the rip. Okay, let's see who flew out here. Become your own sovereign. Explore other realms. Come on now. And embrace the three worlds. Become your own sovereign. Take charge of things. The buck stops with you. Explore other realms. How else might you be able to manifest these dreams? What other routes might you take to the end? And embrace the three worlds. Know that things are functioning on all levels, and that what you see in the earthly realm, things might be way ahead of that on one of the other levels. The thing that this is telling me is you really need to get the what clear. So maybe the unstable effort is because we're not clear on the what. The clearer you are on what you're trying to manifest, the much more quickly and easily Spirit can help you with that. So you get the what really clear, then you open to tuition, because Spirit's going to take you there much faster than you ever thought you could get there intellectually, right? Okay. And I'm getting my cards all turned around. 17 and snow. Do you have trees around you, Anne? Because, as you may know, full moonlight through the woods onto snow is like one of my very, very, very favorite things. I could never live in the South, you guys. I just couldn't live in the tropics. I would be pining. All right. Pisces, they're flying out for you. We have the Victory card and we have the Fool. And I'm going to do an easier spread of these since they are so hard to spread out. Oh, coming over here again. They're saying reach under. All right. Sorry. This may be the first live ever where I have to take a pee break. All right. Victory reversed here. So Pisces, something is just not playing out for you. Just not getting where you need it to go. And the Fool says, again, we're dealing in the realm of all possibility with the Fool, all potential. All right, enter your sacred space, commune with your fairy allies. Hold on a second. Time for a fresh start there, Pisces. It's time to look at where things just didn't quite work out, and instead of using the word failure, use the word result, and then say, that's not the result that I wanted. How can I adjust my plan to start fresh with the same positivity? Because it can be very easy for Pisces when things don't work out to kind of go into self-pity mode or sulk mode. All right, get lost in the emotions of it, and also get drawn to the past of when this has happened before. I know this happened to me before, and then look at it as this is my fate. So don't go, let's turn that wheel the other way, Pisces. Time for a fresh start, fresh beginning. Reframe it. I got that result. That's not what I wanted. Time to start fresh. Over here, enter your sacred space, commune with your fairy allies. So if you don't work with the fairies, time maybe to ask them if they would like to come work with you. It's got to be by their will. So ask them if they might like to come and work with you. But certainly take it into your sacred space as well, Pisces. So pretty much the same message as with Aquarius. It's just time to really work in the realm of spirit for you. Because this is all potential, and I'm thinking that we need to go into that ritual space in order to connect with spirit, in order to get the download of show me the direction to go next. All right, and my hands just lit up, so I'm down with that one. A solution seeker instead of a problem solver, absolutely, absolutely. But you It seems like with Pisces, you're not too clear on what the next thing is. You know, how do I start again? And that's where the card of going into your sacred space and, you know, maybe handing it off to the fairies and then duck and cover because they have a wicked sense of humor. And I guess I'll take 2 for the rest of the signs because we've been getting 2. There we have, and this is another problem I have with these cards. The writing is beautiful, but it's so spidery thin. Okay, material gain. That's the 9 of Pentacles there. Okay, that one floated off the top. A 9 and a 9. All right, Aries. Let's make it easier. All right, I'll let it fall open here. Follow your heart. So we've had a bit of a crash here, Aries, financially, that's causing a lot of grief. This says despair and cruelty and material gain upside down. So we could be in a place where we're getting quite desperate about things that haven't worked out. Follow your heart here talks about a partner. So I'm seeing Aries, it could be, rather than Aries wanting to be so self-sufficient, you know, I'll handle it, it's mine, I'll do it, it's all, you know, very self-centered, let's say it. That just has such a negative spin. But self-referenced Aries. It might be time to expand that to someone else and ask for help. Follow your heart here says there's somebody waiting to help you and somebody willing to help you, but you have to ask. And, you know, in a humble way. So, and even if it's only just asking someone to witness the emotional stress that you're going through, someone to listen so you can clear that emotional energy, that might be enough to clear your energy and move forward. Or you might actually require something in the realm of material help this week. But certainly it is time to reach out and not suffer alone. You don't have to handle it all yourself, Aries. Never, at any time do you have to handle it all yourself. But it's going to take an act on your part to reach out this week, Aries. Follow your heart by itself, too, just says that, you know, just spend some snuggle time. I pray that you have somebody to snuggle with and can just curl up in their lap like you're a little kitten, you know, and just let somebody care for you in that way. That's the message I'm getting there. Make fairy houses. Yep. Leave them offerings of whiskey and brandy outside. They really like that. I leave them fruit. And when we're not keto, I leave them cake and fruit and, you know, brandy and whiskey and all kinds of stuff out there. So far, I'm liking this gamma in my ears. It sounds like ocean waves because I can't hear. I have to shut off my my speakers because my microphone will pick it up. And I can't hear the ocean waves that you guys are hearing. And that bums me out. So I'm really glad that I've got something in my mind. Come on, Taurus! Okay. I also want to show you guys some pictures that'll make you howl. Okay, there's one. How interesting is that? Same damn victory card upside down. So there's our theme. Our theme for tonight is things that just aren't panning out. And guess what? It's going to get worse because Mercury station's on Saturday. So, you know, buckle down. I know that there have been things that I've been wrestling with this month, and they just have not been going anywhere. So rather than wrestle with them, I'm looking at this coming Mercury retro and thinking, I can let myself off the hook for this whole time. So here's a really positive side of Mercury retrograde is it can give you the permission to let yourself off the hook of really moving things forward, because they're not gonna anyway. You can be forced to it, but it's going to take a little bit more effort. But as far as your plans, you can just go, here are the things I'm going to think about over the retro. Here's what I'm going to plan over the retro. But you're not going to be implementing those plans until we clear it towards the end of February. Okay. Yep. And we got one of the Knights. We've got that Knight of Cups again. Okay, talk about themes. All right. Taurus, time to cut something loose here. It's time to create a new beginning for yourself by cutting something loose. All of the busyness that you do, all of the run, hamster on a wheel that you might be doing lately, it's time to cut that. It's also time to cut away the fear of failure. Again, reframe it. It's just a result that you didn't want. It's not a personal failing when things don't work out. Everything has a lesson in it. It's never, ever a failure if you learn something, right? And then the Knight of Cups on the side there too. Be gentle with yourself. Bring some love to the situation. And, rather than beating yourself up when something doesn't succeed, it's time to love yourself even more. Imagine that this is your child that didn't succeed at something and is getting down on themselves, and imagine that response you would give to them, and that's what you need to present to yourself here. And we have arise from the ashes of despair. Yes, indeed. It's been so heavy. It's been so heavy, for a while now. And now it's time to take any break that is afforded us, and we have had a great wad of stress alleviated. So take hold of that relief, that sense of relief, and multiply it so that you can pull yourself up out of the mindsets that keep you kind of mentally and emotionally oppressed. Boy, this gamma thing's interesting. I got words coming out my mouth that I have no idea are coming out. All right. So, it's Phoenix time, Taurus. Hey, Samantha. My Tauruses. Samantha, Deborah, Anne. It's Phoenix time. This Ace of Swords says something needs to go away for good and forever. Cut that cord, cut off that stream, cut off that stress, cut off whatever you need to cut off. And then allow yourself to heal, allow your energy fields to restructure. Do your meditation, do your visualization, and then look to the end of this retro period for things to kind of gel again. But over the retro period, just spend time, what's the new plan? Here's the new plan. What would it be like if I got rid of this? And see what comes out. Yay, Anne! Yeah, baby, there's some Phoenix energy, finally being able to get the hell out of the house. I'll tell you, I was looking forward to my doctor's appointment, not only because of all the pain in my shoulders, but just to go somewhere and see somebody that's not the two living here. And it's like a 35-minute drive to get there. And it's a lovely drive. Just goes way, okay. They're not even waiting for me to shuffle. Gemini, all right, well, those are the two that I had in my hand, so never mind. They were just like falling out. Nope, we're going to give you another chance. If you really want those to be the same message for Gemini, you're going to have to cough them up again. Sorry. There's one. And there's two. We have, see, look how hard they are to read. Come on. Very Lovely, absolutely lovely writing. And that one came up reverse. And we have the Ace of Swords again. What did I just tell it? If you want me to have those cards, you're going to have to make them happen again. And it did. All right. So, let's see here. Gemini, some perfectionistic tendencies need to go away right now. Both the inverted perfected work and the Ace of Swords say that. And this is what the hell is this anyway? Okay, the 4. I couldn't look at it upside down and understand the Roman numeral. It's the 4 of Wands. So I think for you, Gemini, we need to let loose of some of the structure. Okay? Something this week, something that you've built, something that you're feeling maybe is squeezing you in a little bit or is limiting the possibilities for you. Maybe there's something that you set up and it's like, you know, here's what I'm going to do. And you put the plan together and you set up the structure. But then once you're in that structure, it's like, but I want to reach outside of this and do that. And I want to reach outside of this. The Ace of Swords next to it says, yeah, time to cut a hole. Time to cut a window in the structure. Allow yourself to expand beyond limits that you have set yourself, or maybe that someone else is setting for you. Maybe you need to have a discussion and a negotiation of, if you just let me wander this far, I can do so much more. All right. I like this better than cutting. No, they want me to go right here, under. And we have, well, my guides are hammering things home tonight. Same cards up over and over again. Enter your sacred space, commune with your fairy allies, throw it open to spirit. And Gemini, sometimes it's hard for you to listen. Sometimes we're so busy putting the information out that we forget to just shh and let it in. So going into your sacred space and communing with your fairies, to me, says enter into the silence and let things kind of rest there for a while, and then see what arises for you this week. With your ruling planet, Gemini, going retrograde, this can be extremely frustrating for Geminis and for Virgos when your ruling planet goes retrograde, unless you have it retro in your natal chart. It can feel like there's just something wrong with you, you know, because your normal mode just isn't functioning in the outer world on a practical level. So, yeah, time to just let go of the precision of what you're looking for, the details of what you're trying to do. Let yourself expand a little bit. Let yourself not wrestle mentally and intellectually with these things, and throw it open, step into the silence, and see what Spirit has to add to it. And my guides just told me that the key phrase, they wanted me to tell you, the key phrase, come on, for this retro is it's going to be all right. It's going to be all right. So like when I'm getting all frustrated and, you know, swearing and going off my head because things have fucked up, I think I'll probably write it out and stick it someplace. It's going to be all right. Whenever you find yourself freaking out like that, just say, it's going to be all right. It's going to be all right. Okay. Samantha, rebuild the foundation. Okay. I think my husband and my son are playing Mario downstairs again because I hear lots of laughter coming up through the sounds coming into my ears. All right. Cancer. They're saying way over. Go way over. All right. So now we have victory upright. This is the third time the victory card has come up, and we're on sign Aquarius, Pisces, Aries, Taurus, Gemini, Cancer. We're on sign 6, and it's come up for half of the ones we've done so far. And we've got the Three of Cups. I mean, look how beautiful. Abundance on its head and victory. So for you, Cancer, it looks like this week is when you overcome this sense of lack, this sense of there's not enough. One way to generate and catalyze that energy is the Counting Your Blessings exercise, the writing down of, all of your wonderful resources and what could be done with those. I think sometimes that Ace of Swords, too, is talking about the times we're in where we have to kind of start reckoning with our precious stuff. We all have our precious stuff that we don't want to get rid of. That's why we have so much of it, because it's like, oh, my stuff, my stuff, my stuff. This is what makes me feel like I'm worth something, when we place our value externally. And, I'm saying this as someone with shit tons of stuff. So maybe if we start looking at that stuff and going, how can I lighten that load in a way that will bring extra resources into me? Then we can stop looking at the upkeep and the maintenance of the stuff with this lack mindset, and instead say, if I maybe trim down some of the stuff, it can also get the abundance flowing as well. And this says visualize healing. So Cancer, with your ruling planet in dramatic Leo and getting smacked by both Mars and the Sun, time to definitely concentrate on that flowing water, being in that flowing water. In fact, get in the tub or stand in the shower. You can cleanse a crystal by holding it under running water. What does that tell you about what you can do in the shower? You can stand in there, and at the end of my showers, I always turn the shower head so it's really kind of hitting me on the head, and then I just lean against the wall. I just kind of put myself up against the wall, and I let that water just flow. And I give thanks for hot running water at my beck and call. I give thanks for a sewer system. I give thanks for, fresh, clean water to drink, all the things, and let that heal you. So that's what I'm getting for you, Cancer. Time to revise your relationship with all your stuff, revise your idea of what abundance is, of whether you have it or not, and then look to those healing energies, and not just visualize healing, but catalyze healing. All right. All right, we're moving on to Leo here. Oh, I want you to see the shuffling so you can see how these cards like literally float off the deck sometimes. Oh, all right. We're taking out of here. I'm going to do it this way. They want this one and this one. We have Queen of Pentacles and King of Swords. Of course, I get 2 courts. So the Queens. All right. She, of course, talks about resourcefulness and abundance and how you use your material goods. So I always see her as the green thumb. She is the one that no matter what you give her, she can turn it into something more. And upside down here, it's saying that you're not feeling resourceful right now, Leo. No shit. Not feeling very resourceful. In fact, it feels like resources have dried up. And you know what? It's winter. Nothing's growing right now. So it needs to grow internally before it can grow externally. And King of Swords here talks about really getting control of what you're doing in your head. The ideas that you're thinking, the concepts that the videotape or the audio tape that is playing in the background all the time. And that audio tape here says, I don't have enough. I don't have enough. I'm never going to, no. It doesn't say I don't have enough. It says I am not enough. And King of Swords says, time to lift up the sword and take on that motherfucker that says I'm not enough. And for Leos to be thinking I'm not enough is especially painful, let me tell you. Right there. And we have, you are cherished and protected. So what do we say to ourselves when we're feeling like we're not enough? We remind ourselves that we are cherished and we are protected. I mean, look at the beautiful, beautiful image. This artist's work, the eyes are just stunning. The wings coming up around here. Just this gesture of covering the heart. And this beautiful Merkaba at the root chakra really gives that sense of protection and safety. And look at the wings kind of coming around the planet Earth here. So Leo, we're going to address that sense of not being enough, that fear of not being enough, and that's what we're going to set aside for this coming retro period. Is we're going to be thinking new thoughts. We're going to be head-on addressing that message that just keeps playing in the background this week. Okay? Yes, they're gorgeous. I mean, this is why when I got this deck, I unboxed it immediately, and it's like, oh, I am using that tonight. Because so, so beautiful. Okay, Virgo's coming up. We're whipping through tonight. We may have to go and take... all right. We've got 3 here. I'm going to take them all. This is for Virgo. Tower, Fool, and Illusionary Success. All right. Let's see what they give us here. I do like spreading them this way best, if you can tell. I went from the easier way back to this because it's just easier to tell which one I'm being sent to. All right. We're humming over here. That's the one I want. All right. Another repeat. You know, variety is the spice of life, cards. Seriously. All right. So Virgo, there's upheaval happening this week. You're feeling like things are going to crash and burn. Tower card just talks about structure breaking down and unexpected change. Remind yourself that when the structure starts to break down, frequently it's because we've outgrown it. It's cracking and crumbling because it's old and it doesn't fit anymore. So it's time to look at what's old and doesn't fit anymore, Virgo. And you can quite literally be talking about clothes here, or you can be talking about your day-to-day function, or you can be talking about your job, or you can be talking about the way your furniture is rearranged. Something is old and doesn't fit anymore, so it's cracking and it needs to be addressed. And then we have the Fool reversed. All right. We need to be very, very clear. This talks about illusionary success. We need to be very clear and realistic about what we want to get started and about, first of all, whether the things that are sort of like crumbling away need to just go away and be done with it, simply go away, or whether they need to be replaced in some way. Sometimes the stuff that we need to let go of, we just need to let go of it. There's nothing to take its place. It's just too much and it needs to go. Sometimes it's like we need to swap something for something new, but the Fool upside down says there's not like another new thing that needs to take its place. That's an illusion. We just really need to let the load go. The thing that's stressing you, the thing that you're worrying about. Ask, do I have to worry about this? Is this mine to worry about? Or am I just worrying about it on behalf of, somebody else because it's what I do so well? So I would say time to just look at what can be gone and done with without starting afresh, without something to replace it. And that can actually clarify some things, because this is talking about illusionary success, that a new beginning, starting new and a new project and everything can feel like, yay, I'm going to succeed at something, when actually what you need to do is sort of lift the burden that's already on you. And then we have explore other realms as well. So branch out, Virgo, from, this thing that's crumbling and then I just want to replace it with something else. Maybe think about what the alternatives are. And let yourself think very broadly. I mean, Mercury retro is a time when intellectual energies are not accessible on a practical level, so be impractical about it. Dream. Virgo is so very practical and so very utilitarian. Things have to have a place in the process or I don't want them. So exploring other realms for you, Virgo, might mean going into the poetic, letting go of the procedural, and just think in terms of the poetic and applying that to your life. What would it look like to be living a more beautiful, poetic life? All right? I hope that was clear. This card makes it tough for things to be like crystal clear. But that's kind of where you're at, Virgo, is things aren't crystal clear. So if you explore other realms and let your mind open to other possibilities, no matter how wacky, brainstorming time, just write everything down, the possibilities, no matter how crazy they are. And that can bring the things that really are possible into much sharper focus, because you're like, not that, not that, not that. But then the things that are possible get clearer to you. Okay. Oof, oof. All right. God, they're getting longer. We've got the Tower again. We've got harmonious change on its head. 8 and 9 of Swords. Holy moly. All right. So where are we at? We're on Libra now, aren't we? So Libra too, you feel like things are kind of falling apart. And the sense I'm getting with Libra is just losing the illusions. I thought losing faith is the sense I'm getting with what's crumbling here for you, Libra. Faith in how things are supposed to work, faith in humanity, and, whether we really are beings of the soul or whether we really are just these crusty fucking animals that are too dangerous for their own good. All right. Harmonious change. All right, I want you to pull that one up there. So the harmonious change on its head is just reiterating the disruptive change of the Tower. What's key here, Libra, is that the 8 of Swords, that when you recognize you have built the trap that you're in, it becomes a lot easier to get out of it. This is the self-induced limitation, self-selected limitation. Those ideas and those stories, again, the stories that you tell yourself about, I can't, I don't have a choice. Whenever the 8 of Swords comes up for me, the phrase, I don't have a choice, is attached to it. So, Libra, you need to look at what your choice is. And when you decide to open up to the choices that are available, then this idea of ruin and calamity. So, what we're really afraid of here is ruin and calamity. And I mean, who isn't? This is the closest I've been, not living in California and the places where everything burns, and places where hurricanes happen. Uh, okay, it just flew right out of my head. Oh, where where I live, I'm not used to calamity being like this close to me. But we're in it now, and it's subtle because the calamity we're in now is an invisible one. Unless you've seen people that are sick and you've seen people coughing. I mean, I do have personal friends that have had COVID that have gone through it to varying degrees. But I haven't seen that. So the calamity for me is playing out with me locked up in my house, which is what I do anyway. But for so many other people that aren't as hermity as me, they're really feeling the calamity of this pandemic and the calamity of our economic situation and the calamity of our political situations. Everything is becoming calamitous, and let's add to that that the sunspot cycle is ramping up again. So we really need to deal with this idea of calamity. And when you can let in the real possibility, then you can make decisions about how I'm going to deal with this rather than just saying, I don't have a choice. Oh no, everything's falling down around my head. I don't have a choice. What do I do? What do I do? Ah, there was I think it was Starhawk's Coven, um, that made this chant when things were like going wrong. They were trying to do a ritual, and it was, when in worry, when in doubt, run in circles, scream and shout. So, that's an option. That's an option, just to get things moving, just to get out of this place of feeling bound and hemmed in. So I think, Libra, time to really think about the practical side of calamity. What does that mean, and what are you doing about it? Do you have a go kit? Do you have a go box? We don't. Yikes. Next relief check. But a go box that has all your important papers in it, things that if you need to get out and go, that everybody that lives in a hurricane zone has this, by the way. A fireproof box with all your important shit in it, all that kind of stuff. Because if you think about something, calamities, we don't plan to get hit by them. They hit us when we're busy making other plans, as John once said. So maybe start thinking in practical terms of how can I alleviate the impact of calamity so that I can stop like sort of dwelling on it. Let's see what we got here. They're going right off the top because I just stuck them on the top and I didn't shuffle them again. All right. I mean, it did say explore other realms, and you should certainly do that. All right, now they're bringing me right to the middle, and we have guard and protect the sacred waters of life. All right, so one of the things you can do is, and this is just really, really super, super practical. I know I've talked about British Birkfeld and Royal Dalton, not Royal Dalton, but just Dalton water filters and gravity filters. Not just Libra, I really, really encourage everybody to get, especially a gravity filter, because that doesn't rely on water pressure. You can get water from the sewer and put it in there, and literally you will get pure water at the other end. You can put lake water in there, and you will get pure drinkable water out the other end. So, things like that, just on a practical level. But here, guard and protect the sacred waters of life. What is that? That's your emotional body. That's the part that connects us to each other. And that's the part that's so hard on Libra when you can't get together with people, right? So you've got to guard and protect and nurture that emotional body of yours right now. I would say maybe time to do a water ritual, Libra. If you're going to do some magical work around things, work in the realm of water, asking to sort of be cleansed of any worry and panic you have around this idea of calamity and ruin. Okay? Because you might be confronted with things this coming week. And it would be nice to sort of have an answer when those things start shaking loose. And again, we're just talking about the scope of this coming week, right? You know, when I'm doing these readings, I tend to wander past that scope. But it certainly looks like not a comfortable week. But it doesn't have to take you to a place of crash and burn, especially for a Libra that likes to keep things in balance. You might have to get to that point of letting it fall, protecting the sacred waters by weeping, by letting your emotions flow, and then you turn it upside down, like the Nine of Swords upside down said. I know, Samantha, I fucking saw that. That water is now being traded as a commodity. You knew it was coming. If they could figure out how to control the air, they'd be doing that too. It's terrifying. So yes, here, I'm going to write this down. Also British Berkfeld. And it's this big, I have two of them. We only use one right now. I need to buy a second candle for the other one. But they have these big ceramic candles in them that are impregnated with silver, which is one of the most purifying elements there is. And the water goes, you know, through gravity, gets pushed through these filters, and it takes out viruses, bacteria. They had to create a new category for them when they started selling them in the U.S. because they work so much better than any filter that was already approved for sale here. And before they approved them in the U.S. for sale inside the country, the U.S. was using them in all their military installations around the world. So what's that tell you? Oh, there we go. There's one, and there's two. Scorpio. I so wish these were easier to handle. I mean, look at just trying to spread them out. They just clump up. And you know what? I will battle through it. Because they're worth it. Okay. What do we got here? We've got the Ace of Wands and the Princess of Swords. And you know what? I'm going to look her up. I was working with just the court cards today. And I didn't get to the swords because they're the last ones in the book. All right. Her keyword is researcher. Okay. Ace of Wands. So Scorpio, time for a new creative beginning. It really is time for you to kick off something new in the realm of creativity, in the realm of career, thinking towards success. Now, good luck because... All right. I think just in this next week, start thinking about this. Start thinking about the new direction as far as career, as far as expressing your creativity. It could be, you know, if you want to kick something off during a retro, make it something like something impractical that you always wanted to do, a skill that you always wanted to learn that is absolutely not practical. So Mercury retro is not going to have an effect on it, right? So did you want to learn to play keyboard? Do you want to, have you not picked up a guitar for a while? Me with Scorpio rising here that hasn't touched a guitar in months, and I was thinking about it today. So something that is going to allow your creativity to flow, something new, let go of the judgment. And what was her keyword again? Oh my God, researcher. So maybe do some research into what it's going to take to get you there. What would I have to know in order to learn this thing? You know, maybe it's time to start studying astrology. Maybe it's time to take a class, or it's time to find out how much it would cost to learn how to, or to launch So as she's talking about research, of course, she's on her head. Let's see what the upside downs say here. Unable to connect the dots. Caution, elusive, being held back. I think, and I mean, this is so interesting because Scorpio is the researcher. Pluto rules research and delving deeply into things. And this is saying that we need to stop being surfacey about stuff, and it's time to delve in a lot deeper, Scorpio. So whatever maybe you've been playing with on the surface and just sort of, not gaining expertise, it's time to delve deeper. Over here. You. And she's a repeat as well. So, for 12 signs, we've seen, what, 3 cards? All right. Sacred journey and pilgrimage. So the sacred journey, talking about researching and delving deeper into something. And look at the DNA. There's another card in this deck that has that as well. Come on, pop in. Do the thing. There we go. You see the double helix of the DNA. So Scorpio, what is it that is in your DNA that you have not yet tapped into? It's right there in your chart. If you don't know, contact me to get your chart read. I am on a mission to get people to get their fucking charts read. You guys have no idea of the information you're missing if you don't do this. You are missing your chance to read your Akashic record. Plain and simple. Why the fuck would you not do that? So Scorpio, it's time to dig deeper, to take that sacred journey and the pilgrimage a little bit beyond where you are in the mundane realm, to go deeper. Look at what your destiny is. What are you here to do? What are you here to fulfill? And maybe the research on its head is saying it's time to quit researching things and fucking do them. The Ace of Wands says start. Stop researching and start, and get going into a deeper level with things. All right, so flip that first message over. Time to stop thinking about it and reading about it, and time to do it, Scorpio. Baritone ukulele. Okay. Do you not know how to restring it, Samantha? Or you need to get the strings, or what's the deal there? I'm waiting my 20-second buffer for the answer here. All right. Sagittarius. And off we go. And off we go. We've got more cards. All right. Let's take these two and see what we have. We've got things I can't read. Rest from strife and earthly power. Upside down. And then we've got 2 right side up. So let's take a look at how these sort of... these cards, as stiff as they are, like I said, I'm looking at the little nicks on the sides of them just from shuffling. It's very strange. All right. So... Sagittarius, it's time for you to take a break and a rest because you need it and you're not doing it. And it's sapping your day-to-day function. We're just not able to function as well on a day-to-day basis. So that's the first part of it. The second part of it here is the Death card and established strength, the 3 of Wands. All right, so we're gonna move Sagittarius from this concept of earthly power around money, the focus being kind of on money, to the focus being on real power and what that is. What is personal power really? What is your personal power really? And how can you bring that to the forefront this week? How can you stop wrestling with problems in terms of, I can't afford that, and look at how you're going to bring about a lasting change, because the death card is a card of change, but it's permanent change. It means something ends for good and forever. How can you bring to bear your spiritual power, your creative power, your resourcefulness, your executive power, your ability to decide, your ability to know what you want? How can you bring that to bear so that we can put something to bed here this week, something that needs to just be done for good and forever? Because right now we're just grinding on it and we're thinking that money's going to solve the problem. And I'm not saying that money couldn't. I'm not saying that money couldn't. You know, you might not have no problems if you've got money, but boy, they sure are easier to solve. So it's just the shift from thinking money is the thing to solve it and looking at how you can bring your own powerful resources. And Sagittarius, your powerful resources are your belief system, your philosophies, your deep, deep understanding of what is at work, the energies that are at work. Bring peace to troubled waters. All right, so this upside down Four of Swords that says you need a break and a rest and you're not getting it, she's reiterating that. Bring peace to troubled waters. And did you notice the water theme that's going on tonight? There's a lot of water. On a Cancer moon, why wouldn't it? But giving yourself that break and that rest, and yes, doing some meditation. And I've talked about Kelly Howell so many times. And she's not the only one with these recordings, but I haven't looked beyond her because why would I when I'm finding everything I need here? If I could type, that would be awesome. So there's that reminder, Kelly Howell binaural beat recordings, to just give your brain the rest that it needs, to drop your brain into the frequency of rest. And I mean to tell you, I had gone back with my adrenals kind of crashing again. I'd gone back into the waking up in the middle of the night, not being able to get back to sleep thing. And so I started doing the Delta recordings at night. And there was a time, you know, when I went to bed and it's like, okay, time to go to sleep. I shut the TV off. Anxiety comes up, which tells me my brain goes back into beta. Beta is alertness and focus, but it's also anxiety. So it's like, okay, my brain's in beta, reach for the headphones, put on the theta and delta. And while it's doing the theta thing, I'm relaxing, and I'm consciously relaxing as well. But when it hits the delta, I mean, it's like somebody flipped a switch. Suddenly, I feel my brain go into sleep mode. And most of the time, I don't even listen to the rest of the recording. I just take it off, put it aside, and I'm asleep. So please avail yourself of these amazing tools. And that can help to bring some peace to the troubled emotional state that you may be in, Sagittarius. You know what? We haven't looked up any of these cards. Let's look up one and see. The emergence of... It says the emergence of Celtic white Tara. And how did I not look close enough at this to see that she has got Tara's mudras? Holy shit. So you see how she called me out? Look me up in the book because you're missing something big. Om tare tu tare ture mamayu punyajana puchinkuru so ha. An auspicious encounter could bring new solutions to old problems. Be open to the meeting. A new deity blending Eastern and Western cultures emerges from the water between Northern and Southern Ireland. Okay. I'm not going to read through this because it's kind of more background stuff than message. go to White Tara. Sag, give her a try. Look up her mantra online. And, all right, let's see here. Om Tare Tu Tare Ture Mama Ayu. I don't know if I can spell this right. Punye. I think it's Punye or Punje. Jnana Putin Kuru Soha. I probably completely mangled that spelling. But there is White Tara mantra. You see her gestures. This one with her right hand is bestowing everything that's needed. This one with her left hand is dispelling fear. And she is the embodiment of peace and compassion. So there you go. Do some research into White Tara, Sag. There are, there's music online. There's probably White Tara meditations that you can find. But yeah. Thank you, lady. I humbly thank you. All right. Capricorn, we're at the end. Now I wish I had been looking those up all along. Maybe we'll go back and look at them. We'll do some general questions at the end here. Maybe I'll grab the carrot cards. Okay. We have Valor and Temperance, both on their heads. Capricorn, we got to bring things into balance for you too. All right. Capricorn, you may be feeling like you don't have what it takes to meet the challenge that's ahead of you this week. Valor on its head says, I'm just feeling like I'm not up to the challenge. I don't have what it takes. I can't do it. And then Temperance on its head says, that's fucked up and out of balance. And I want to look up Temperance in this deck because I remember going, ooh, I like that. All right, let's see. All right. Healing. So their keyword for Temperance is just straight up healing. And that's on its head too. So why you're feeling like you don't have the courage, Capricorn, is because you've got a raw wound sticking out and it's so tender that you're afraid of it being hit again. So we need to look to healing, not look to having the courage, but look to healing. And that can bring about a state where you're feeling not so vulnerable. You're just feeling really vulnerable. Saturn is still squaring Uranus right now. So your ruling planet squared by Uranus is like, the lightning is going to break from the skies at any moment and it's heading for me. So it's completely understandable. Over here. And we have visualize healing. So there you go. So it's saying do the visualization. Whatever you're feeling inadequate to, wherever you're feeling vulnerable, it's time to do some visualization work. And visualize yourself, not those things. Visualize yourself the opposite of vulnerable. Visualize yourself adequate to the challenge, that you're stepping up and you're absolutely brave and able to confront and able to address, even though your knees are knocking. Because remember, Capricorn, brave doesn't mean you aren't afraid. Brave means usually you're scared shitless and you're going to do it anyway. So do a visualization of, I'm just going to continue on. I'm going to meet the challenge. I'm not going to let it stop me, even if I'm afraid, even if I'm feeling vulnerable. I'm going to move forward. And that's the healed state that you want to visualize. And, if they're really old wounds and old traumas, they certainly need to be healed. And going into a retro is a perfect time to do that deep dive healing work, to dig to the roots of something and, bring it to kind of the healing table and see what you can do with it. All right, let's look her up too. Because I forgot the phrases that they give you and the meanings they give you are such short little phrases there. Okay. Okay, wait until the first. Take a low grit sandpaper the edges. Oh, you're talking about the cards. I don't know if I can do that to my cards. We'll see. All right, visualize healing. It says the burning of the sage. All right, let's do that for you. I've got a little piece right here. Let's do the burning of the sage for you, Capricorn. Address health issues with positive visualizations. Use your intuition to connect into your energy field and identify the causes of your distress. Research may be necessary to get a balanced view. So, yeah, just time to do some healing meditation focused on feelings of not being up to whatever challenge you're facing. And temperance just says we've got to, we really need to bring things into balance as well. It's not just about healing. It's about assimilation. So looking at those old lessons, looking at those old wounds now, maybe you looked at them years ago and did your healing work on them, but maybe time to look at them again and see what better understanding you have to bring to them so that the healing can go that much deeper. I'm going to go grab the tarot cards. I'll be right back. And I did myself a solid with the tarot cards. I took that tiny little page that it comes with and I scanned and I blew up all the meanings. And I am also spending time memorizing the basic meanings for this deck as well. Because, oh, they're so good. If you haven't seen the video for this deck, please watch it. They are incredible. They're so sweet and so innocent and so unassuming, and man, they are powerful. All right, we're going to do this kind of shuffle. I want to ask about... What do we want to ask about, you guys? I will wait until the buffering goes away. Bum, 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 bum. Hi, Alex. Don't tell him, but I got my son a copy of this deck for his birthday. Because when we took Japanese tea lessons. Hi, Eric. When we studied Japanese tea ceremony, his student name was So Usagi, which is rabbit, and he was born in the year of the rabbit. All right. I'm so sorry. Well, you know what, Sherry? Do you have your birth record? I mean, you said nobody could ever tell you, but it should be on your birth record. Galactic energies. I think that's a little too broad. I'm not sure how these would talk about those. I'm talking about like mundanery. And by the way, if you haven't yet subscribed to the Suspicious Observers channel, you should. 90% of it will fly over your head, but that's where you're going to get the warnings of solar events. There's actually a Suspicious Observers disaster warning app that you can get on your phone that tells you about earthquakes. You can tell it what you want to know about. But it will tell you about earthquakes, about hurricanes, about solar events, about, if there's a CME and it's heading our way, it will send me alert on my phone, so I can watch the wires fry. All right, let's see. Kicking. Okay, so the card of bravery comes out. Kicking is about bravery. Let's just see what they tell us, okay? All right. Bravery, the rainbow is the hidden realm, so the realm of spirit. And the hoe, guess what? That's the Tower card. That is disruptive change. So There are hidden forces at work. And Samantha, you talk about the hidden realm and galactic energies. There you go. Um, that we need to call on our bravery. So, the subject of bravery and what it means is something that is a good thing for all of us to think about. What does it look like to be brave? And, think about the things that you're most afraid of and consider what would it look like for me to be brave in those circumstances. If the worst thing that I can imagine happens, what will it look like being brave? Um, because this is talking about disruptive change, that there's more disruptive change to come. And of course, we're in the fucking middle of it. Everybody's talking about when's this going to be over? Can we plan? Can we plan? Go ahead and plan, but be ready to let go of those plans. I don't see anything at all wrong with thinking about summertime and fall and, what we might want to do and planning things just on paper. But when it gets to the point of now I have to make a deposit or now I have to book a venue or things like that, then it's time to reassess and ask again, because we're not done. And until we can get vaccines on board, until we see where this new Brazilian variant is going, because it has arrived in the States, and the oh God, what was the name of the, hold on, I can't remember the name of the city, but I will find it. Manaus. I think that's it. Yes, Manaus. The city of Manaus, with the first version of the virus, their hospitals were overwhelmed within 10 days when the virus arrived there. When this new variant was discovered, it took 24 hours for the hospitals to get overwhelmed. So we don't have any fucking idea. And I'm hoping that we can get this vaccine rollout happening like now. I mean, I know that Biden is putting all the resources at his disposal towards it. And what a relief that is. What a relief to know that somebody really is doing something about it rather than letting it just wash over. All right. Bravery. Hidden realm. This is mystery. Am I right? The mystical. Okay, the hidden realm and the mystical. So the left-hand path here, we really need to be working on a magical level. As we are dealing with the practicality and the facts and the science of what we're going through, we certainly need to be working on a magical level as well. This T-square tomorrow, if you're doing full moon ritual, Mars is an activator. It kicks things off, and we've got both sun and the moon involved. So, the full moon energy being activated by Mars in fixed signs, there's a lot of really potent energy. That's the key word there for fixed signs, is potency. So whatever you do tomorrow in this full moon ritual, just know that Mars is going to magnify that. Mars is going to infuse it with so much more energy. And, you might need to have a really physical ritual. I mean, mine always are. But when I did my last ritual, just like a week or so ago, and there was just so much stress in my body, and I put on some Heilung. They're that, are they Norwegian? I think they're Norwegian. And, it's just shamanic, boom, 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 drums, and wonderful stuff like that. Something that's root chakra grounding, drumming, and I just let my body fly back and forth. I stayed in the same place because sometimes I can be not too steady on my feet, and just swung the top half of my body back and forth and letting my arms go and my head go. And it really did loosen up a lot. So you might want to do something really rockin' physical, because the Mars energy is going to be available for that. And, to really womp up a big wad of magic around it. All right, disruptive change, littermates is family members. So All right. Oop, and that one wanted to come out too. So this talks about the limitation that we're under. This, I think, is talking about where our braveries, is needed. That when we're talking about family members and, people that could possibly get sick and the worst happening there, that's what we kind of need to be brave about. So we acknowledge it on the practical level, and then we work on the magical level as well. Because the pen in the middle just says, get used to sitting still, as if we're not used to it yet. But if you watch that video, Bohemian Rhapsody, right on. If you watch that video, are you Norwegian? Well, so is Anne, Eric. So I've got two Norwegians here. Isn't that amazing? Okay, there's the name of the band. I highly recommend. They're amazing. Well, what was I saying before? Yeah, as if we're not used to sitting still. Okay. Something's coming into my mind. I think it was Lance Armstrong. Disgraced as he is. And so, this throws a whole bucket of salt onto this statement, but pretend he didn't cheat with drugs. Pretend that he just, this was his mindset. And it really was. He said that he loves to suffer. And when the races became a sufferfest, he knew he was going to win. That when, he just knew how to suffer. So maybe now we need to just learn how to suffer. That's our bravery, is learning how to get down in the grit and just deal with what's happening and go, fucking bring it. And then we reach into the mystical and the hidden realm for those inner resources that are going to get us through. Okay, now I want to see you guys start speaking Norwegian. Speak it or it's not true. Let's take a couple more here. Okay, look at this. Rain, sun. Rain and sun. And I mean, this was like no spread. I just started laying them out. Don't you love this deck? So rain is a necessary discomfort. That right now we have to put up with necessary discomfort. And that is the limitation that we're under. But we've got limitation on this side. We've got the mystical realm on this side where there is no limit. There are no limits. And I want to tell you that Kelly Howell also has recordings for astral travel. I've been traveling a lot more consciously lately. I went flying a little while ago, and I'm just really feeling like as the physical limitations squeeze in, the mystical is opening up. Yeah, lots of rain here too. And then the sun coming out, that's oneness. That talks about all of us being together. So we're all in this together. We're all worrying together. Take care of your family if you can't see them, just by calling and saying, how you doing? It's going to be okay. It's going to be okay. That's the key phrase for tonight, is it's going to be okay. Say it until you believe it. It's going to be all right. And the power of that, when you're in the extremity of the calamity, whatever it is immeasurable. If somebody comes up and, for instance, when my parents were dying, and I mean, first of all, I wasn't frantic during those times. I stood as the death crone for them. And, it's not like I was, oh no, oh no, oh no. But I'm just using that as an example of extremity, of, what's the worst that can happen? Somebody's dying, oh no, what do I do? And the power of somebody just saying it's going to be okay. It's going to be okay. Even when the worst happens, it's going to be okay. So the Buddhist in me adds to that, except when it's not. So here's your phrase. And if you're doing practice, even when it's not, in Buddhist practice, we learn how to be okay in discomfort. We learn how to be in the discomfort without freaking out. right? So even when it's not okay, we can still be brave. We can still, access the hidden realms and the mystical. We can still connect with our families. Let's take one more down here. Hoo. The icy path is treachery. Straight up just treachery. All right. I got to take more on that. Sorry. Should have quit while I was ahead, huh? Tunnel in the Garden. This is one of my favorite cards in this deck. It's the Child with Greens. And it stands for unpredictability. Kind of like, when did you ever see a child that loves greens? Well, my kids do. And they did when they were little. My kids were not picky eaters at all. But this just cracks me up that it's like, the card that's about what the fuck out of left field is the Child with Greens. And Tunnel in the Garden is about an unexpected surprise, a happy accident. All right. Okay, so the icy path here, talking about treachery. And I mean, the obvious is if you've got rain and things turning to snow, which is like we're right on the edge of freezing all the time and it's always raining here. Things haven't gotten icy, thankfully. But if things are really treacherous in that way, you can look at it that way. You can also look at the fact that we've got crazy people still trying to fuck things up. And they sit in the House and the Senate. So we've got treachery happening there, but this is talking about their own treachery being unpredictable and that there's something unexpected to come out of it. It's like a happy accident that they pull a move and it turns the other way. That's what I'm getting there. All right, maybe we can go further with the political stuff. Let's put them back and start again here. Let it all come out in the light of the sun. That's absolutely it. Dandelions. This is the card of karma, getting what you deserve. Oh, and they're flying out now, boy. Got the safe burrow on that side. And this one wants to come. Babies. All right, let's see what this is telling us. So, just rewards, rest and safety, and babies is something new. All right, I think this is talking about relief money, and not just relief money. Biden is looking at now not sending money to people who make $75,000 and more and whose income hasn't changed. They need to add that to it. That, you can't just look at your tax returns and go, this is how much you make, and so you don't get the money. They need to do it for people who make that much and whose income has not changed. In other words, the people that don't need the relief money. Hello. So the people that need the money getting it, and this helps bring a little bit of safety and rest, and this needs to be an ongoing program. The babies talk about, just something new. Let's see here. New joy. All right. So that we do get a little bit of a respite emotionally by money coming through and people not being so stressed. All right. Winter landscape is about patience and the bare bush is about shortages. So, holy moly. We're going to have to be patient for things to play out. They're saying that relief money probably wouldn't be available or actually rolling out to people until the end of February. So we need to be patient. We need to stay safe in the burrow. And hopefully with the resources you have, you are stockpiling some things that you need. Even though we're keto right now, we have a 40-pound bag of rice and lots of bags of dry beans. The just-in-case kind of stuff. Okay, new joy and then shortage. All right, help me out here, you guys. Just rewards. Are those the actual wordings? Yes, just reward. New joy. Shortage. All right. I wonder if they're talking about vaccines here. The new joy being, the anticipation. If you look at kind of like this might be the playing out to the future side. The new joy being we get our vaccines and now everybody's okay and we can go out again. But then there's this shortage. We've got this massive shortage of vaccines. Is that what we're talking about here? Unpredictable change, hidden realm. All right. What I'm seeing is this rollout is not going to go in a predictable, easy manner because what the fuck, we're heading into Mercury retro. I mean, he's looking at ramping up these stations. Where people will really be going to get vaccinated en masse. And then we've got the setting sun, which is urgency. This is urgency. The hidden world. All right, so know that things are happening under the surface. Things are happening behind the scenes that we can't see. It's unpredictable or this is disruptive change, not unpredictability. All right. So I'm looking at actual efforts that people have made in order to disrupt the flow of vaccine, whether this is through intention or incompetence or both. We need to see is yet to be revealed. But the setting sun says there's absolute urgency around that, and I completely agree. So not just relief monies, but just reward being, getting the vaccine and the things that we need in order to be taken care of. Anybody have any extra comments on those? Let's ask about, I don't necessarily want to focus on the impeachment. What I want to focus on is the seditionists that are still in the Senate. And we have Bear Bush there, and all of these flipped around. So we're just going to take these off the top. So I'm asking about Cruz and Hawley and Rand Paul and Marco Rubio and Lindsey Graham and Mitch McConnell. And look we've got Rainbow again, Setting Sun, Icy Path, Hawk in the Sky. All right. Why do I lay them out in this order? I have no idea. That's just where my hands are going. So the Bear Bush means shortage. And what I'm getting from that is, they're already screaming about, it's too expensive, it's too expensive, while we're getting stories about how they've wasted money across the board. But asking about them, the Bear Bush says they don't have the resources on their side. They have a shortage of facts, shortage of truth, shortage of support, accountability. Let's see, what'd you say here, honey? There were more things in place. Yep, they're having to revamp. Absolutely. And accountability. So these guys that I'm focusing on, the shortage card came up, and that is they've got a shortage of everything. They have a shortage of ethics. They have a shortage of integrity. They have a shortage of facts on their side. They have a shortage of everything. And I think they also have a shortage of the American people behind them. And we've got the rainbow and the setting sun. Setting sun is a sense of urgency. And the rainbow being the hidden world. So again, there's hidden things, lots of shady deals going on, because it looked like, with McConnell saying, yeah, go ahead, send the impeachment articles over and signaling that he would support the impeachment, and vote to convict. And then, of course, he flopped because he's a fucking, cold fish. but there's a sense of urgency. They're feeling the walls closing in around them. Their old tricks are not working anymore. And I'm putting this prayer up there to the full moon that the Democrats, for the first time ever, stop trying to make nice with the bullies. Stop treating the bullies as if they deserve an equal place in the discussion. Because we're hearing the same shit from them that we always hear. You know, it's time to unite. This isn't good for the American people, and we need to move on. Blah, 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 blah. No, the Americans need to stuff their, or the Americans. Yeah, the Americans. That was a good Freudian slip. The Democrats that really do care about America and our democracy and its people need to stuff their fingers in their ears and say, here's what we need to do to accomplish what we want to get done, because that's what McConnell has done all these years. He has twisted and bent rules to suit his purpose. He has just let hundreds, literally hundreds of bills die on his desk without ever bringing them to a vote. So it's time for these guys not to be listened to ever again. They have forfeited that right. Icy path treachery. So their hidden deals and everything are going to lead them down a slippery slope, and it's treachery. The setting sun, we've got a sense of urgency here. Hawk in the sky is mortality. These guys are on their way out. The rabbit feet talks about self-reliance. Let me check that. Yes, exactly. I got them all memorized. Self-reliance. So let's take a couple more on that. So I think these guys are freaking out. There's a lot of closed door discussions going on, but they're going to take themselves down by their own treachery. And we've got the rain and the sun again. I swear to God I shuffled these cards. You watched me do it, didn't you? Or maybe you didn't. I'm shuffling. All right. Self-reliance and a necessary discomfort, and then oneness. All right, so that's the Democrats. They need to rely on themselves, put up with the necessary discomfort of hearing all the quacking, and stay unified within themselves. The fast dog is danger, danger on the way, and footprints in the snow is looking to the past. So, unnecessary discomfort. All right, hold on. There's like, this is like sudden danger. Clear danger is what that says. There's fast dog and slow dog. Slow dog is like mild danger, and fast dog is clear danger. All right. So it looks like the necessary discomfort turns into a danger. I'm not sure what that would be, if you've got any opinions. And then we've got their unity, and then looking to the past to see, you know, what's possible when they are unified, when they decide to present a united front and do what's right for the American people. This is where the slipperiness of politicians has gotten too built into the system. It's what we expect from them. And so they live up to our expectations. And it really needs to be people that are ethical and that we can rely on. All right. I want to find out about Fast Dog, so I'm going to take 2 on that. God, I love these cards so much. The Viviv. This is where her writing, her R's and her V's look very similar. So we call this the Viviv instead of the river. So the child with greens, the danger is the unpredictability of the situation. The fact that when you're dealing with narcissists, they bank on unpredictability. They use it. They want to keep you on the hop. They want to keep you on the back foot. You know, they want to keep you off balance. So that's what the danger is these, these monkey wrenches. I see them like throwing one monkey wrench after another. It doesn't need to make sense. They just want to disrupt, disrupt, disrupt. And so their unpredictability, and this is, okay, a necessary risk. Am I right? I'm right. So this is the necessary risk. Is Fast Dog needs to come running in there. All right, they're kind of the Fast Dog running in, but okay, this is the Dems. Hold up, hold up. All right. I'm seeing this because that played out as the Republicans. This is playing out as the Democrats. They need to be the Fast Dog and put them in clear danger. You know, it's kind of like the Queen's Gambit. They need to, you know, make those chess moves to put the Queen in, or the King into danger. They need to be unpredictable with their own moves and know that this behavior is, it's a calculated risk and it's a necessary risk. They just need to do it in order to make things happen the way they need to. Because if this president gets away with what he did, where do we stand? Where do we stand? Okay. No birth record. Hospital in Cleveland. I was born in. Honey, Sherry, if you were born in a hospital in Cleveland, you will have a birth time on your birth record. Contact Columbus, Ohio. Get online, order a copy of your birth record, tell them you want the long form of it. It'll cost you $25 or so. You have a birth time in a hospital in Cleveland. Come on. It's going to be there. But you got to get the record, sweetie. Your birth certificate is not a birth record. That's just a pretty piece of paper. The birth record has all the stats from your birth. All right. Anyone know what timestamp the Aries reading is at? No, you know, I haven't done timestamps, Music Summer. And welcome, by the way. But know that when we're in Aquarius Aquarius season, I start with Aquarius and we move on from there. So Aquarius, Pisces, Aries, not too far in. I think I started reading about 20 minutes in or so. And I kind of made a decision a while ago not to do the timestamps because you're just going to have to watch. Maybe I'll do them in the future. I don't know. Like my video and I'll do it. Like and subscribe and I'll start putting timestamps on things. I'm such a shit. I'm sorry. But I am a shit. Oh, and we are at almost 2 hours right now. So, all right. That was fun. I do want to do more sessions with these tarot cards because, wow. I mean, I think I'm going to sit after this and just look at like each of these people individually and see what I get from them. But we'll close with a commercial. Please hit the like button on this video. Please subscribe if you have not already. I am barreling towards my first 1,000 subscribers. Please help me get there by liking so more people can see it. Share this if the content is something that you know you find worthy and that your friends would enjoy. Look down below. You'll find several links. You'll find a link to my Patreon. $3 is the initiate level, and that's just basic support and early access to my full and new moon videos for your ritual purposes. You also get in on Zoom calls at that level. At the priestess level, you get deep dive exclusive patron astrological content like lectures, PowerPoint lectures and materials to start learning astrology. That's $9 a month. The goddess level is $27 a month, and you get all the other stuff plus a private reading with me every month. A private, personal, recorded reading with me every month. It's actually just time with me, FaceTime with me every month. You can use it however you want to use it. You can use it as Q&A. You can use it for a tarot reading, an astrology reading, or just to tap my brain and figure out, you know, answers to your questions. You can, Discord isn't really active right now. I might actually take that off. What else? You can send me a donation. There's a couple ways to send me a donation. Thank you when you do. I send you my blessings. I send you my blessings anyway, but I really appreciate those donations as this is my living. And What else is down? Oh, my Amazon wish list. If you want to send me a deck, I haven't gotten a gift deck in a while. But when I do, I will give you a reading with that deck on my unboxing of that deck. So that's another way you can get a reading from me. So thanks so much for hanging out with me, everybody. It was much more fun tonight. This gamma thing, I'm a fan. I am a fan of the gamma waves. I feel usually after 2 hours, my neck is getting tight and I'm starting to get a bit of a headache. And it's mostly just my own shit that needs to be addressed. But it seems like these gamma waves have alleviated that. I feel really clear headed. I feel like I could keep going. So thank you, Kelly Howell. Skål! Maybe I'll go get a brandy now. Yes, I think I will. Listen to Booth. Oh, both. I think that was supposed to be both. All right, let's see. Timestamp 15 minutes in. No, it's probably about half an hour in, Samantha, because I think it was 18 minutes or more in before I started doing the readings. Aries Moon, Gemini Sun. All right. Thank you, Deborah. I'm so glad you got here. Yay, yay, yay. And yes, listen to both. You are so welcome, everyone. May the sun always warm you. May the moon always charm you. And may the angels watch over you so that nothing can harm you. Thank you, Samantha. That's so lovely. I miss you, honey. I am now starting to get, I can't wait for spring fever. The birds are starting to make springy noises out there. And I'm looking forward to spring when we can sit outside and be in each other's company again. So until then, let's bring it about as fast as we can by staying home and wearing your masks and doing every protocol. Wear 2 masks, folks. Double masking time. You know, when I have my mask on and my glasses are steaming up, it means droplets are getting out. So keep yourself safe. Please, please keep yourself safe and take good care of yourself. Give yourself a big hug. Take good care of yourselves till I see you next time. And until then, it's Luna. Blessed be. My mouse doesn't work.